Welcome to FitFarm, a show dedicated to creating a better life through fitness and the grappling arts. I'm Joseph Aronson.
I'm Jackie Baker. It's time to get jacked.
What's up, everybody? I am here today with the guys from Proud BJJ White Belt. How you guys doing today?
Good. Doing good.
Thanks for coming out, man. If we could we just give everybody a quick introduction on who the guys are behind the scenes? I know you mentioned Sonny was one of your other admins that was unable to make it out, so hopefully next time we can get him out too, and he can kind of share his story with us too.
Yeah, for sure. My name's Al. I'm the one who pretty much founded the page. I do a lot of the behind the scenes stuff when it comes to, just maintaining the page going and whatnot, you know what I mean? So,
yeah, a lot of the behind the scenes.
A lot of it. Chances are, if you've contacted us, you've talked to me at a certain point, but now I stay on the other side of the page where I run another page as well. But yeah, a lot of these guys here are the ones who help me maintain it, along with another couple of guys that couldn't make it today, but yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, my name is Eric. New to Jiu Jitsu within the past year, and that's how I met Al and these guys. I was lucky enough to join the gym and just kind of helping out whichever way I can.
My name is Jeremy. Same boat as Eric. New to Jiu Jitsu. Met these guys. Helping Al out. I know he's busy. He's got a lot of stuff going on, so we're more than happy to help him out.
Yeah, my name's Corrado. I've known Al since he's pretty much started at the same gym we're at. I've been doing jiu-jitsu for about 12 years. I've had some downtime from injuries, like several years downtime. But
haven't we all? That's the story, right?
But I just keep coming back, and I also. The reason I'm training is all because of work. So I'm a law enforcement officer, and that's just kind of my thing.
Nice.
So, but as far with the page, I'm just here to help Al with whatever he needs to do.
Do you feel it helps a lot with your job too?
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's
been situations where you had to use it.
Yeah. I mean, he can talk. We've choked people out left and right.
Oh, that's good.
It works. I mean, the stuff works. It doesn't matter.
Sir, stop.
Yeah. It's one of those things. It doesn't matter if you're on some type of drug or alcohol or whatever. Once the blood stops flowing, you're out.
Yeah, right.
So,
right.
Yeah, I love it.
It's different because I think like sometimes the people that are on drugs, if you're hitting them or kicking them, they don't feel it. They keep coming. But like you said, if blood's not getting to the brain or to certain areas, sorry, you're not going to bypass that.
Sure. Yeah, just the control positions alone.
Yeah. So let's go down the list here, and can you guys tell me how your jiu-jitsu journey started or where you found jiu-jitsu?
Me, personally, I guess it's like everybody. You see it on TV, whatnot. You wonder what's that all about. I got my son into it first, and it was one of the things that I wanted him to do because, I mean, that's the best thing you can do as a father or as a parent is give your child a way to have self-discipline, encouragement, confidence, and the gym that I train at right now, that we all train at right now, they took him in and they molded him into a great young man. I mean, I did my part, but I can't teach the way they teach. So once he did his thing, he took a rest. So once he took a rest, I said, all right, now's my turn.
Yeah.
And I just fell in love with it. And when you have somebody who is younger than you and making you tap left and right, it could either do two things. It's going to push you away. It's going to make you say, okay, this has to get fixed.
I got to figure this out, right?
I mean, exactly. Like
bruised ego.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, if you're going to let your ego take over, then you're going to be like, I don't need this. I got hands and whatnot.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what everybody says. Yeah. I don't need to wrestle. I don't need to grapple.
Exactly.
I got hands. Like, okay.
So, once I saw that, I'm like, yeah, this is not good. So once I started seeing smaller guys take on bigger guys and survive, and some of them even getting tapped out, that's where I was like, yeah, I need to do this, and this is where I'm at now, man.
Nice.
That's all she wrote.
Pretty much.
Yeah, that's the beginning. What about you?
Yeah, so I found our gym about a year ago. I'm a registered nurse, so I have a pretty stressful job. Stresses throughout life, we all got them. And it was just getting to a point where it was getting to be a lot, and I just needed an outlet. And jiu-jitsu is something I always wanted to try. I've done other things on and off since I was about 9. And one day my wife's like, yeah, you really need to do something.
Yeah, she could tell you're just...
Yeah, she could tell, like, you just need an outlet. And so, I found them, and, just when you're rolling, all those issues throughout the day, they just kind of float away, and it's just been my saving grace ever since. So as much as I can get in there, I do.
Yeah, you forget about them while you're training. Right?
Exactly. When somebody's trying to choke you, that's all you got to worry about.
Yeah, you're like, I just got to survive.
Yeah, that's right.
What about you?
Well, I'm with Corrado. I'm in the same boat as him. As a law enforcement officer, the stuff they teach us once a year in combatives does not work on the street. It does not work whatsoever. And I was out of shape, overweight, and I kept telling myself, I'm going to lose weight before I do jiu-jitsu. I'm going to lose weight. Well, then I found keto. So I found keto. I dropped like 50 pounds. He talked me into going to the gym. So we started lifting, started going to the gym. I was actually trying to arrest a guy one time, and I realized how out of shape I really was after I gassed out after about 30 seconds. So, and I was like, I need to do something, because if I have to fight this guy for, 3 minutes before backup gets there, I'm going to be in trouble. Yeah. So as I progressed with jiu-jitsu, I haven't been doing it that long, but my cardio is gone through the roof since then, and I feel pretty confident now. If I had to try to arrest somebody or do any kind of combatives, self-defense myself, now I would be pretty good. I could probably do it. So it's definitely helped a lot, and I'm glad he talked me into getting into it. And I think every cop should know this versus the stuff that they teach police right now.
Especially if you're trying to hold someone down and actually put cuffs on them, right?
And we all know that today's day and age is 2018, and how people perceive police, because a lot of cops, they go to their tools on their belt versus going hands-on. And I get nobody wants to get hurt, but if they had the tools in their belt of jiu-jitsu, then I think that would kind of
help a lot. A lot, in a one-on-one situation, right?
Yeah. And your confidence level just goes through the roof for that as well, So it helps out a lot.
Yeah, I found a lot of actually officers that train everywhere I've ever trained. There's always a solid group, and you could tell they're trying to get everyone they work with to go too. So
it's hard getting them out there.
You catch a lot of resistance, right?
A lot of them can't check their ego. And that's always the big problem.
And then once they actually come, they're like, "Oh, why didn't I do this years ago?" Right. I tried telling you. I don't know why you didn't.
He did that. He told me years ago. I was like, I gotta lose weight first.
Yeah. Is that what your start was the same, or?
Basically, well, no, I started because kind of the same thing, but it wasn't the cardio thing. I was working one day. I was 26 years old. I'm 40 now, so a long time ago. And some guy I had to fight with, he had like the jailhouse swell going on. And, you know what? He had my number that day, and I got lucky, and I was able to actually, kind of flip him over. But there's one of those instances that could have gone either way, and it could have been my life. And there was a guy at my old department that I worked at that was training already, and he kind of talked to me about it. He kind of mentored me into it, and I went there. And I started training. In that first 3 months, I couldn't check my ego. I didn't have that mentality. So after 3-4 months, I quit and just stopped going, because I'm like, you know what? I was just like, you know what? I'm going there. I'm getting my butt kicked every day. And, why is it? Obviously I'm not learning anything, because I didn't have that mentality to realize that, you know what? If I was beating guys that have been training longer than me, obviously I'm not learning anything. Yeah. So I quit. About like another year or two later, the guy that kept on me, like, keep about going back to train. And I did. And from then, I just been training ever since.
Yeah. Getting whooped is part of the process, right?
It is. It absolutely is. And that's a lot of guys don't realize that right away, that, I've been doing this for 6 months. And,
that's not long at all.
Right. Yeah. I've been doing it for 6 months, but I'm not beating anybody. It's like, well, yeah, because everybody else has been doing it for 8 months or 12 months. So, of course, they're a little bit higher than the game than you are.
And everyone can train at a different pace, too. Some people can go 5 days a week. Some people can only make it 2 or 3 because they're working, kids, all that. It's different. For me, I started just because I used to wrestle, and then, I graduated high school and I didn't go to a college that had a program. So I was like, man, what do I do? Where do I go? And then I was like, well, let's try this jiu-jitsu thing. I guess it's kind of the same. It's not the same. And it was really hard to get comfortable on your back.
Right.
And then I quit, same as you, man. I'd quit and I'd come back, and then they'd be like, "Oh, we're doing a gi class." Like, that's stupid. You know, I'm not wearing those.
When am I ever going to wear a gi?
Yeah, I'm not wearing no pajamas. Okay, and then I quit again and come back, and then finally, I don't know what happened. Just one time, like I just learned a couple really sneaky like lapel chokes, and that was it, man. I was like, yes, this is actually fun now. Okay, I'm not getting choked. I'm choking.
Yeah.
Right? And then I was hooked. So same thing, man. Have you guys ever competed or been in?
Absolutely.
Well,
I
I did a long time ago, and then I just kind of stopped because it's kind of one of those things where, it's what I do to support my family. I mean, I can't take the chance of being out, So, and then I kind of don't like I really don't like the point rule. I like, I've always gone back and forth about coming out of retirement, kind of competing and trying to do like a submission
only, yeah.
Because I mean, I kind of look at it. That's kind of what jiu-jitsu is about. It's, great. It's important to control people and everything else like that. But when you're just playing for points, I've gone to a lot of tournaments and I've seen I've seen some of these guys compete and everything where a guy just gets on top, holds him down, and then doesn't ever go for a submission. It's kind of like, what's the point?
Yeah, they're just surfing on top of them, right?
Yeah.
So I'm kind of like, every time I see one that gets close, I'm like, maybe I'll do it. Like we were supposed to do one. When was it?
can't remember.
January. But I popped a rib. Like,
shit.
It's like it's still kind of recovering, but now I'm like looking forward to like looking for one and trying to find one. I'm like, I'll give it a shot just because I think it'll be fun.
Well, I mean, and the thing is that it's all ages too. They have their own divisions, which I don't know how old you guys are.
I'm 40.
40, okay.
39.
39.
36.
See, yeah, so you've got, even in here, we've got all different ages.
A little kid over
Yeah.
here.
21 or something?
No,
I think I'm what they call
27.
Yeah, right. So you got like Masters 10 over here. Right. So, I mean, that's what's cool about it is you go to these tournaments, at least you're going to be hopefully paired up with someone who's in your same age bracket and skill-ish, unless they're sandbaggers. But they can't control that. That's usually the instructor that's holding them back or something.
Right.
But, but yeah, that's neat. You said you competed too?
Yeah. I think I'm one of the ones that's competed maybe the most recently.
Yeah.
But I mean, whether it's points, submissions, whatever it is, it's one of those things that, when you're in your own gym, you want to make sure you don't hurt your own partner. And don't get me wrong, when you're competing, you don't want to hurt anybody as well. But you have a trained athlete who's trying to make sure they win.
Right.
You know what I mean? So for me, that's the best test where you can test your technique. And what I like doing is I like starting from standing, I want to throw somebody.
Yeah. Judo.
Judo.
Yeah.
After I throw them, if I succeed, it's one of those like, okay, wherever we go from there, we got to work out of it.
Yeah.
And I'm one of those guys that if I win, awesome. If I lose, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
As long as I know for a fact that I didn't give up. One of those things like, oh, I was so tired, and it's like, well.
Yes.
Push. As long as I know I did everything that I could, and that guy or even if that girl beat me, is like, hey, hats off to you. You beat 100% of me, rather than well, I had a bad leg injury and all this stuff. It's kind of like, no.
I had to cut weight. I was tired.
That leg injury doesn't matter, man. Like if you gave it 100%, then you give it 100%. All you could do is tip your hat off. That's it.
Yeah.
Give respect. That's it. And I mean, that's one of the things I love competing. I
do too.
Because, I mean, I'm with my guy over here. When it comes to injuries, it's kind of scary, man. Because like we still got to go to work.
Yeah, I still got. I'm not getting paid for this.
Exactly. So it is kind of scary. I mean, I last tournament that I did, I popped my knee pretty bad where I couldn't even walk after the tournament. And but then again, we just finished having a seminar not too long ago where we were rolling, and my ankle got popped really bad. Like
just a straight ankle lock,
straight ankle lock, and it came out of nowhere, man. I wasn't even feeling. I didn't even feel like it was hurting, and all of a sudden you just heard this nasty pop, and I was like, whoa. So
really,
yeah, we all stopped. We were like,
whoa, oh
so,
man.
I mean, it can happen anywhere, but you know what I mean. It's just one of those things that I mean, if you compete, give it everything you got, man. Don't. Make sure that person earns their gold medal, silver, bronze, whatever it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, make sure they know they were.
Don't hand it to them.
Yep.
Don't hand it to them. And there's no disrespect in it. It's like I'm not gonna let you have it.
Yeah.
You
got to earn it.
Just like you're not gonna let me have it.
Right. So. Now, do you guys prefer gi or no gi when you compete?
I like gi.
Personally, I like gi. I love.
Okay, I'm gonna be the outside. I like no gi.
I love messing with people with with lapels.
Yeah,
and
with the
stuff.
grips, yeah.
And, oh man.
I just try to look at it. Like I said, since my primary focus for training is always because of my job, I kind of look at it what I use more often.
Yeah.
People aren't wearing like I mean even in the winter time, you run into guys with sweatshirts. Can you choke me with a sweatshirt? Yep. Absolutely. But it's a lot easier to just do it with your arms and choke them.
Yeah.
So I kind of try to play that route.
Well, in their sweaters or hoodies I don't have as strong a material as a gi. You know, you might pull that to choke them and it'll just rip, and you're sitting here with their hood in your hand. You know,
right? So I mean, that's kind of always what I've always looked at. Like, I mean, you can ask these guys when I'm rolling. A lot of times, I don't even grab for the gi. Even when we're wearing a gi, I'm still grabbing the head. I'm grabbing like underneath the whole arm, just because I always want to be. Knee bar. I always want to have that option.
Oh, leg locks. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. That's I do like the leg locks.
I like the no-gi just because it's the closest thing to wrestling.
Yeah.
But the gi's, there's so many options with the gi, so it's hard to pick a favorite. I guess it depends, man. Are my fingers bugging me? I'm gonna go no-gi.
Yeah, for sure.
Because your grips will be killing you
too. But if you maybe sit down and choose one, it would be no-gi.
Yeah, and the thing with the no-gi though is that the ranking system's kind of funky. There's just basically beginner, intermediate, advanced, right?
Yeah.
So I mean. You might get stuck with a black belt.
I just got my purple belt end of July or August.
So you're gonna be against black belts.
All day long. I'm just like, I'm like, but you know what? I was like, since I don't really care if I lose, it's kind of like I'll give it my best effort. So that's why I was like, I'll try the submission one. If I go against a black belt, if I beat him, that means I'm awesome. If I lose, I'm like, well, I should have lost.
It's expected. Right? That's the attitude to have. Do you guys have a favorite submission, by the way? Leg locks for you?
Yeah, mostly the big knee bars. I just love going for them.
Okay.
It's half your body. Why would I not go for it?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yep. Yep.
I like working chokes.
Yeah.
I just probably got to that point now where I'm still fresh to everything, but I really enjoy chokes.
Like lapel chokes?
Oh, yeah. Al over here would work lapels with you all day, so I got choked out enough by him in the beginning where it's like, all right, now it's my turn.
Yeah, when it comes to like skirt chokes, lapel chokes, anything
baseball bat chokes,
anything that I can have you scratching your head after we're done.
Yeah,
I love it.
Especially when you're not like some of those chokes when you catch someone and you're not really in the superior position.
Right.
You're kind of in a transition and you catch them or something. Those are the most annoying to get caught in.
And
sometimes I'll be coming out of guard or something about to pass and decide and get caught, in someone's baseball choke. You're like, really, dude?
Yeah. And those are my favorite.
Yeah. You're like, let's run that back.
Yeah. There are a lot of them. They're just traps.
Pretty
much.
That's why you open your legs, right? I mean, that's why.
We had one day last summer. It was just Al and I one night, and he just worked. Was it the baseball choke?
It was
probably 45 minutes. He was just choking me with that.
Yep.
And then he would get me. And it paid off because then come competition time, somebody was trying to get it. And I'm like, man, I've been in this so much.
Yeah.
Dude.
You're going to get me with this, dude.
You don't even know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it goes back to the whole being comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
He got so used to me choking him that way that when the guy tried it in competition, he had no hope. I mean, I'm not trying to sound cocky or anything like that, but the guy had no chance.
Yeah.
There's never that no moment.
You know it's coming.
When you got a guy who does it all the time to you, that's kind of nice. I don't know if you ever noticed, like, training with the same teammates, sometimes you catch their patterns too.
Oh,
right?
yeah, absolutely. 100%.
Yeah. So how do you guys feel about, like, cross training or ever going to, like, different gyms? You ever do that? Not like, leaving your gym or going to another, but just
an open mat kind of
an open mat type deal. Do you guys ever do any of those? Or
well, I've gone to open mats. Our professors, they're fine with it. They are, at least I do the whole situation where I give respect wherever I train. Whoever opens their doors to let somebody train there, I mean, they deserve respect.
Yeah. Yep.
But I never forget where I come from.
Yes, exactly.
You know what I mean? But that's pretty much the way I see it. I don't know.
Yeah. You guys feel the same?
Pretty much.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I haven't done any open mats just because, this year is like once kind of getting associated with the proud BJJ white belt page and everything. I started, it's more of like a group now. So I started to get kind of paying attention more. Al brings up, he finds some, he'll share it with the rest of us.
Yeah.
It just hasn't worked out the last,
with work schedule.
Our schedule's kind of off. We work 12-hour shifts.
Nights or days?
I work nights. He just got the day shifts. So
finally. So now I
Day
want to
shift.
start. I want to start hitting them. Well, I did night shifts for almost 19 years.
Okay.
So I did
Oh,
my time.
yeah.
Put in his time. Yeah.
But now I'm like, I want to
You're
start doing it more because I kind of like the idea of going and training other
Oh,
places.
absolutely. Yeah.
You start gaining weight now that you're on day shift? More sitting around, or is it still pretty busy?
No, I'm still pretty busy because
Okay.
the area I work. I mean, it's not like a bunch of shootings and stuff like that.
It's not like
Now-
Rockford.
Yeah, no, it's as bad. It's just now it's daytime in the area I work now because they, kind of put me out in the far west side. So I deal with retail thefts, accidents, and like
Okay.
suicidal teens mostly all day.
Oh, no.
That's it. Yeah, instead of
Yeah.
gangbangers all the time. So
A lot of that could be solved too by getting kids involved in like a martial art.
absolutely, 100%
Definitely.
agree. Every time I go and I call, like that's the first thing it says. Well, have you tried your kid doing this?
Yeah, come on,
Yeah.
come for a week for free or something,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Come
Try
check
it.
out my school. It's not that far away.
What we notice is a lot of these kids are having a lot of aggression issues. I
Yeah,
don't know if that's just their upbringing, no father figure or whatnot, and so we always try to push them towards that. Even if it's not jiu-jitsu, it's boxing.
Correct.
Yeah.
Plenty of boxing rings around that we can
yeah.
we can get them to, because we want to try to curb the problem before they get
Yeah.
to the age where they can start getting in a lot of trouble and it goes on their record. So
yeah,
we try to curb that as much as possible, and we kind of agree with the same type of policing. We don't arrest a ton of people. We're more of there's different types of law enforcement rather than just writing tickets or arresting people.
Mhm.
Sometimes it could just be behavioral correction.
Yeah.
And we would rather go that route with a juvenile or
Arm
somebody that
bar?
needs-
Yeah.
yeah.
You put them in an arm bar, you
Yeah.
gonna stop?
A little bit of
Okay.
guidance with an arm bar, an
Yeah.
escort hold or something. Yeah, put them in the right direction.
Yeah. You're gonna stop, right? No.
Listen to your mother.
Yeah, no, and what's funny is like when you're training a martial art, jiu-jitsu, boxing, any of that, it seems like you make your closest friends there almost, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like you guys, that where you guys all know each other, right?
Mhm.
See, I mean, like I don't think there's anyone that I see on a regular basis that I haven't choked or punched or or
Those are some of your best friends.
right. So I mean, yeah, I'm all for it,
Yeah,
100%. I mean, like I said, I think that would help with suicide rates, depression, all that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because people are more going to the medication route. It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
everybody's the
You
doctors
turn everyone
are
into
out,
a zombie,
yeah,
right?
pushing
Yeah.
the medication.
Uh-huh.
Let's push a little bit more of to get that aggression out versus
I mean,
you're depressed because of how you think your parents are raising you.
I mean, you also have all those articles that people share their stories of how they're depressed or they have bipolar disease or whatnot, and then
Yeah.
they train, and I mean that's their outlet. I mean,
Yep. I had a guy
Yeah.
I know personally that he quit training and he gained a ton of weight.
Yeah.
He was all depressed, this and that. He said, "Man, the happiest time ever was when I was training jiu-jitsu." I was like, "Well, why don't you come back?" He's like, "Well, yeah, that's a good idea."
It's the best kind of therapy.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think it also teaches people real consequences because some people don't understand that, like, if you get into a fight with someone and you don't win,
Right.
you can get hurt.
For
So
sure,
yeah,
it teaches you how to respect other people. Like, maybe I shouldn't get into a fight, especially on the street.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
You know?
absolutely. Yeah.
And
That's that's one thing I try to myself. I try to tell people when they have bad days, like our training partners that come up to me or whatnot. I'm like, man, I had a rough day today. I'm like, that's a good thing. And then they look at me like, what do you mean? I'm like, can you imagine if that would have happened outside? Like,
Mhm.
I'm not trying to get all philosophical or whatnot, but
Preachy.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
but like, okay, you just got armbarred or you just got choked out. Can you imagine if that would have happened in the street?
Yeah, they wouldn't have let go.
Right.
Your arm would be
Like,
bent back the other
You-
way, or
you'd be done. I'm
Yeah,
like,
you'd be passed out.
Just be happy that you failed here.
yeah,
You know?
Not to mention, even on your worst day, you're
Yeah.
still training, and chances are the person you're going to go against isn't.
right.
So
yeah,
even on your worst
So-
day, you're probably better than probably 80% of the people.
Correct.
yeah.
You
I
know?
mean,
So-
yep.
So you gotta look at the total, circumstance.
Yeah, exactly. Now, what do you guys think about like the future of the sport? Do you think there's going to be more submission-only tournaments going on, or do
I
you think
hope
it's going to
so.
cut more to IBJJF style points? Or
It's actually discouraged my kids too, because both my kids have done it. My oldest son's 19, my youngest one's 10, and they had the same issue. They had the same problems that I had. My one son, he's a smaller stature as far as he's skinny, not real muscular, but he'd go to a tournament, he'd go against some kid who's been wrestling, and that's all they do is hold him down.
yeah, and he's going for the finish.
He's trying to get
yeah.
the finish, so he gives up the position
Yeah.
to go for it, and the guy just gets on top and just sits there.
I hate
My
that.
youngest son did the same thing, so it kind of discouraged him from competing. Like
Right.
my one son, he was doing like the pancreation stuff, so it was like the jiu-jitsu with the striking.
Yeah, like body shots only, right? Or is it open palm or body
No, it's
punch?
body shot. It's just below the neck.
Yep.
And he was loving it. He was killing people striking, and then you get on the ground, he was doing good too.
Yeah.
But then when he started trying to transition to just jiu-jitsu,
Points tournaments.
he'd just be getting held down and couldn't do anything. And he just got discouraged. He's like, I just don't want to do it anymore.
Yeah.
He still kept training, but he didn't want to compete anymore. And as a father who likes to train and everything else, it's kind of discouraging.
Yeah.
And I can understand it. And that my 10-year-old, when he went through the same thing, he did a Naga tournament a couple times, and same thing, got held down by some kid that wrestled. Which, don't get me wrong, the kid was good, absolutely good takedown, whatever. But then when you just sit there, it kind of takes away from it.
Yeah, you got to work, right?
Yeah, I like the combat jiu-jitsu idea where you're always attacking.
Yeah. And if you're on the bottom, you're not going to hold them in your guard either. You're going to have to move because they're just going to sit there and slap the crap out of you.
And that's my thing. If I'm going to lose, I'd rather lose because I lost to a submission.
Correct. Right.
I kind of look at it this way: unless you actually submit me, you haven't beat me.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a bummer losing by just points, especially when it's just like 1 point.
Right.
He
it
passed
could just
your
be
guard.
one takedown.
Yeah.
That could be it.
That happened to me at IBJJF last year. I first one won by points, second one won by submission, third one lost by one takedown. That was it. And you just stayed on top of me the whole time. I was like, oh, come on.
Yeah.
So and it was like depressing. And then that guy that beat me ended up winning gold by just an advantage. One advantage to nothing. I was like, this is so boring,
I did a tournament not too long ago. Well, actually, I think it was long ago, about a year. One of my funnest matches, man. It's till this day one of my funnest matches. I lost by an advantage point, and when I lost by an advantage point, I was still happy, man. I was like, man, I'm down.
You guys were getting after it,
like,
though, right?
Oh man, it was a back and forth fight.
Yeah.
It was awesome,
That's
and
awesome.
I lost, and I was like, man, I'll take that. I'll take the loss for that match. It was back and forth. I mean, I threw the guy, he swept me. I swept him. He swept me. Like, oh man, it was it. But it was nothing like my man said over here. It was nothing about holding down. It was just I tried something, he capitalized. He tried something, I capitalized.
And
it was just
all about.
It was just beautiful, man.
My opinion.
That's fun.
And at the end, I lost. And I was like, man, nice.
Yeah.
I'll take that one all day, every day.
Yeah,
So,
that's a little different. That's
exactly.
fun.
I mean, that's completely different.
Yep.
Everyone's
for
going
sure.
for stuff. That's completely different.
Sure.
Mine was like you said, one takedown. We were just there.
Yeah.
4 minutes after,
Right.
I was like, oh, fun.
Yeah.
Cool. You're looking around like trying to get out of here.
Yeah, do something, try to bait him and stuff, and they don't go for it. It's just like, no, I'm
he
just
had
gonna
my
sit
back.
here.
Yeah.
And
And he wasn't going for anything?
no submission. Are you kidding
wow.
me? Really? And it was 1 minute in. I messed up, and he ended up on top of me in my turtle and took the back. And
Okay.
4 minutes, no submission.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, and that's what I'm talking about. Like,
Yeah.
what was the point of even going there then?
Yeah, right?
If you're not
Yeah.
trying to submit people, why are you there?
Yeah, right? Get that $3 medal.
Yeah, right. That's
That's awesome.
Give me your best game.
Yeah. Do you guys have any interesting stories or any like legends that you've met just through jiu-jitsu or through the page or anything?
For the most part, it's since I've been running the page a lot longer, I'm the one who's been a lot more
Involved
in talking and whatnot. The first one, I mean, he doesn't even need an introduction. Tom DeBlas. I mean, the guy's an inspiration every day.
Yeah.
Everything he's done, everything he continues to do. I mean, he was one of the people who inspired this page in actuality. I mean, his way to encourage people, his way to look at things, his way of moving the sport forward. And I'm talking about not moving it forward to where it becomes a business, but to where he moves it forward to where he wants everybody to be successful in their own journey. That's you just can't buy that.
Yeah.
And he was one of the reasons why this page was created, because if you don't mind me going into it, one of the reasons why I created this page was because I had people ask me like, "Oh, hey, you train jiu-jitsu, right?" "Yeah, I train jiu-jitsu." What belt are you? Oh, and the classic line, "Oh, I'm just a white belt."
Yeah.
And I said the first time that I said it, I'm like, "Yeah, I'm just a white belt." And then the second time somebody asked me, I was like, "Oh, I'm just a white belt." And then in the back of my head, I'm like, "Why did you say that?" And I
Say
was
it like that, right?
Yeah. And then the third time somebody asked me, and they're like, "Hey, well, you train jiu-jitsu?" "Yeah." "Well, what color belt are you?" "I'm just a white belt." And it's like I was so like mad at myself, like, why did you just say that?
Like you're almost
Yeah,
downplaying
yeah,
it, right?
Yeah, like so then I was like, yeah, and in my head I'm like, this has to change. And then one day I even had, it's on our timeline. Tom DeBlas, I don't know where he just put something towards the nature of, stop saying you're just a white belt. You're a future black belt, and it can sound corny or cliche or whatever, but regardless of whatever way you look at it, a grandmaster at one point was a white belt.
Yeah.
And
He just never gave up.
He just never gave up.
You know,
I mean, he's just been doing it longer than a lot of people, more other people.
Yes.
that saying is
But
that it always holds true.
You know what I mean? And people like they don't. That was one of my things. Like, the page is not necessarily directed for people to become cocky about their white belts. It's more directed towards the fact that, like, hey, you know how hard it is to strap on that belt and walk on the mats, whether you know people on the mats or not. If you don't know people on the mats, it takes even more guts to walk on that mat. To
walk in there by yourself.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, to be a stranger,
Bunch of killers that are ready to choke you out.
You have no idea, and that's what, like, being a white belt has so many responsibilities as far as, like, if you continue to train there at your gym, you're going to be the future of that gym. And not only that, as a white belt, if you walk in there and you have somebody else come up to you that's a white belt and says, oh man, I can relate to this guy or this girl. Hey, how you doing? My name is so on and so forth. Your first day, yeah. Hey, this is where we put our gym bag. This is where I put our shoes, so on and so forth. It breaks that ice. You know what I mean? Because, I mean, like you said, starting jiu-jitsu is scary as it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, if you don't know anybody, especially.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when people do the whole I'm just a white belt, or I'm like, no, that needs to stop. Like, take pride about the fact that you got out the couch. My man over here will tell you his story. It's an awesome story. I mean, that you're doing a very, very tough part, man. I mean, it's not easy. People think, oh well, yeah, you're just a white belt. No. I'm getting choked left and right, and I'm still showing up, man.
Yes.
Like, that takes a lot of guts, man. Like my man over here said, he kept on getting choked out, and he's like, "No, this ain't for me," and he stopped. Like that, people don't give themselves enough credit for showing up every day. Yeah. I mean, every day, like. Man, I just got armbarred 3 times by a 16-year-old.
Yes, yeah.
But he goes to school and he trains wrestling and he lifts weight all day. You have a family to support at home, so why are you letting that get in your way?
Yeah, and he's got a tank that's never going to end, right?
You know what I mean? And the reason that I say that story, because that happened to me.
Yeah, at a tournament. I've had that happen.
In our gym.
Okay.
We have some killers, and my man, 16-year-old, I believe, a wrestler. Just solid, man, solid, and one of the most humblest kids you'll ever meet. And anytime that it was time to roll, I hated looking.
You're
for
trying
him.
to avoid him.
No. I would look for him, but I hated the fact that I looked for him because, like, man, this is not gonna end well. But I gotta keep pushing myself. And this guy just he wouldn't do anything malicious or anything. Like, he would just push you and
eat, sleep, train for him, though, right?
And one of the most humblest kids you'll ever meet, man. And
I had a buddy get tapped out by a 16-year-old at a tournament at blue belt level. I mean, just recently, he's like, man, dude was a savage, you know. I mean,
you got to give credit where it's due, man. And
no shame in admitting it.
And then I mean,
I'm scared of that. You know, like, I hope I don't get put up against 16-year-old.
I used to be that way too, and then I realized I was like, you know what, yeah, you know what? Yeah, I got my purple belt. That's great. Does that mean I can't lose to a white belt or a blue belt? Absolutely not.
No.
It's like rolling with Al. You know, he's a blue belt, and he's probably one of the most technical people I've ever rolled with.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, straight up, he's got his technique down. Whereas, sometimes I still have to. I fall back on using muscle. He's got his technique down, and he's inverting underneath me and doing all kinds of crazy stuff.
Very active,
very active all the time, always moving. And he seems to be the Energizer Bunny too. And if I got, he's caught me a couple of times, and when he does, I'm not hurt by it. It doesn't offend me. I'm like, dude, great job, man.
Yeah.
It's like
do it again. Good job.
You could fold him up and he just keeps on going.
Well, that's
like, now tell me what you did so I can avoid it next time.
Yeah.
We're all here to build each other.
Right.
I think, which is the whole purpose behind everything. You should even in a competition for somebody in a different school, I would have no problem if a white belt tapped me going, hey, what'd you do there?
Yeah.
Right after
how did you catch me, right?
I'd have no problem asking
for sure.
that.
Absolutely.
And if somebody asked me that, I'd have no problem telling them what I did. It's all about building.
Yes.
I think that's what this page is all about. And I say one of the things that drew me to it in jiu-jitsu, it's like you get caught in a mindset of what he was building on earlier. I'm just this. But it's like, no, you're not. You're not just a police officer. You're not just a nurse. You're not just what have you. You know, you're so much more than that. And we don't give ourselves credit for that. But on the mat don't lie. You know,
For sure.
Yeah, like they said, the belt only covers 2 inches of your, you know
exactly.
what, and you got to cover the rest, right? So I mean, that's what everyone says.
Yeah, because a lot of people put emphasis on their belts, man. Like they put way too much stress on their belts, and it's like, well, I'm a blue belt now, so you know, and it's like awesome. That's
Awesome,
great. That's
you earned that.
That's an
Congrats,
awesome
you know.
That's an awesome achievement. But now you're putting yourself in a stressful situation that if a white belt taps you out, it might cripple you.
Yeah, it might hurt your
like
feelings.
mentally or with your ego, and it's kind of like, are you ready for that? And I think that's one of the things that a lot of people don't. They just, I want my blue belt. I want my blue belt. I want my blue belt. Awesome, great, work for it.
Yep.
But be prepared to handle what's coming to you. You
I
know
gotta
what I
be
mean?
honest. I mean, the first 6 years I trained, we didn't even do belts.
Yeah.
You just trained. And I'm like, and I loved it. I mean, I understand that you kind of need to show the rank and everything else like that. And there's a business purpose behind it as well, which I understand. But I loved just training to train. It's like,
correct.
You know, there's no stress in the belt. Like even now, it's just like,
That's why I used to like nogi.
yeah,
Everyone's the same then.
Right.
And there's no arguing it
Right.
because you're just
And
wearing
it's-
tights.
exactly.
But, you know,
Right.
you know.
And that's the thing, you know, if the belt matters to you that much, you're probably in the wrong sport.
Yeah.
You should go to karate or something.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, but you can earn the black belt a little quicker in that one.
Right.
Yeah,
Just
definitely.
Yeah.
yeah. So that was just always my thing. I was like, I loved it.
Yeah.
And it was, you know, and then like I said, I understood they started doing the belt thing. You know, I think it's cool too. I like the idea of having the belts, and you know, it kind of gives you something to work for.
Yeah, achievement. Yeah,
Right.
something.
Yeah.
But
Goals,
to me, at the
maybe.
end of the day, it doesn't matter to me.
Yeah.
It's like,
You'll be a black belt one day. I mean, that's
for sure.
Yeah.
Because
And-
we look at ourselves. I mean, I think all of us can agree we're our own worst critic.
Oh, for sure.
Absolutely.
But while we're criticizing our technique, our professor's like, you did this right though.
Yeah.
You didn't see that because you're busy
You're too
putting
busy
yourself
looking at
down.
it.
Yeah.
You're too busy looking at the
here's
one
your
thing.
stripe,
Yeah.
and it's like, whoa, why am
Yeah.
I getting a stripe? Because you've done all of this good. You just keep looking at all the bad stuff. We're
Mhm.
still watching you though. So,
Yeah. You do one
You know
little
what I
thing wrong, and that's
Yeah.
all you can think about.
Right. Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
I've never got a promotion I felt I deserved.
Oh, yeah.
But
Yeah.
I mean, if my instructors say I did, well, then maybe they're seeing something that. 'cause
Correct.
Obviously, you're a hard critic on yourself. I don't see it. They do. If they say it, they know their stuff.
Right.
Yeah. Do you have any others that you saw or that you've met through this?
Professor Kyle Terra. I
Wow.
attended one of his seminars. Another guy that he's been critical when it comes to mindset and advice and all kinds of stuff. Now these gentlemen like Tom DeBlas, Kyle Terra, Professor James O'Connor out in Indiana. These guys have actually. I've talked to these guys. I've met them, and they have no problem giving advice. Like Professor Kyle Terra, that he always tries to remind everybody how to love jiu-jitsu, because a lot of people forget how to love it when things aren't going right.
Sure.
Like he tries to remind people like, hey man, you have to love it when it's bad and when it's good, not just when it's good. You know, and
Unconditional love, right?
that's one of the things that has always drawn me to him. Besides the way his technique is so flawless, his love for the sport and wanting to remind people how beautiful it is and not to get discouraged and move forward. You know, him, one of Tom DeBlas's black belts, Miguel Benitez, Professor Miguel Benitez. He's another guy that helps to get people in the right mindset, because hearing different advices from different people. I mean, the information is out there. You just got to look for it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Saulo Ribeiro. That's another guy. He has a great book. These guys are reading. I haven't had a chance to buy it.
I got it too.
There you
Jiu Jitsu
go.
University, right there. Yeah. Yeah. It's right. It's on the nightstand. It just stays there. If I get bored, laying in bed, I'll just flip it open.
Yeah.
Even if it's stuff you've done, you just
That's the thing. Our professors highly recommend it too. So I'm like, both our professors
recommend books, really.
Yeah, Ron Hill and James Hill, they're both
Correct.
4th degree black belts, and if they're recommending something saying this is a good book,
It's for a reason.
it's for a reason.
Professor Saulo Ribeiro, he posted there was an article actually on something. I'm sorry, about about the white belt mindset, and I took a picture of it and I shared it on the page, man. It blew up, man. Everybody was like, man, thank you so much for this. It's like, I don't deserve nothing, man. I
Yeah.
just found this and I'm sharing it with you. This is from another black belt that a lot of people admire, man. Like, and it pretty much said that what we stand behind. Like, you can't just look at yourself as a white belt. You have to have pride in it, and you're helping others come up. You're helping higher ranking belts become better, you know, and all kinds of stuff. And everybody's like, "Oh man, this is beautiful. Thank you for sharing this." Like, no, this is, I just shared it.
Yeah.
This is Professor Hibero's, you know, and all the information that we get, man, it's from people who we follow, who we reach out to, you know, like Nick Alvin, Jiu Jitsu.
Yep.
That's another guy that that puts out content out there that helps us out. And we reached out to him once, and he gave us advice. And you know, our professors, man, our professors are always open for questions from us, man. You know, like there's times where we post something, and when we do shout outs, we always give like little notes, you know, kind of inspirational quotes or maybe life experiences or whatever. And our professors do that for us sometimes without even knowing. Like they give us advice, and we just go with it and we roll with it and we post it online. And sometimes it gets people like, man, I needed to hear that today. And it's like,
Yeah.
can you imagine what it did for us when we first heard it? You know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean, it made such an impact that you shared it.
oh,
I mean,
absolutely,
obviously,
man.
right?
So, but yeah, I mean, those are just to name a few, man. I mean, there's so many black belts and people that reach out to us that are higher ranking, and they help motivate us. They help get our mindset strong when it comes to helping other people, because there's people who contact us and ask us questions, and we don't have the answers. So there's times where we'll ask different people, and they'll get back to us like, yeah, man, just look at it this way, and so on and so forth. And we pass on the information, man. And it's just, thank you so much for helping. It's like, I'm the
middleman right
yeah,
now.
exactly.
Yeah.
We're just doing everything we can to not have people fall into a pitfall of negativity. You know what I mean?
And keep everybody training too.
Correct.
You don't want anybody to quit
Yeah.
because they're stuck, right? Oh, well, I guess you told me, you know, kind of how you guys started your journeys.
Yeah.
Now, how has jiu-jitsu changed your life?
Oh man.
Whoever wants to go first can. There's no specific order. Here you go.
Well, like I said, it took me a lot to get off the couch.
Yeah.
And once I found something to get me started, like the everybody's saying keto and jiu-jitsu doesn't work. You know, you don't have the energy to burn. You cannot perform on the mats with it. Well, I found it the complete opposite. You know, and I've been well into keto for a year now, and I found that it's helped my jiu-jitsu. It's pretty much given me more energy. My wife's noticed the difference on me. I used to get up after working 12 hours. I'd go to sleep at 7. I'd get up at probably 2 o'clock. I'd go lay on the couch till I have to go to work again. Yeah. Now I get up after work, sleeping 6 hours. I go straight to the gym. I get my workout in and go do that, and I still have energy.
You're more productive around the house now.
Yeah, more productive, you know, and she sees a difference in it. And like I said, just carrying around less weight. You know, I still got a little ways to go. I mean, but it is what it is, and I'm just going to keep going with it. Yeah.
You started.
Yeah, and again, I started. Yeah, and like Eric here, he's been doing it a little bit longer than I have, but I'm glad that we're coming up together, and these guys, we just motivate each other, you know, and that's what I love. It's, you know, if somebody doesn't show up, we give each other crap, like, why aren't you showing up?
Yeah.
You know, where you at?
You got that accountability.
Unless it's you're sick, you can't make it out the door, or family or work, then why are you not here? You know what I mean?
That's being nice.
Yeah, that's being nice.
This is the PG version.
We know this is a PG thing, but we all, you know, so we definitely give each other crap.
But it's out of love.
It is out of love, absolutely. Yes. So yeah, it's benefited me completely. It's changed my life around, and I love every minute. I love these guys. I mean, they push you.
Yeah.
And that's what we need. I mean, we hang out with these guys more than we hang out with most of the cops that we work with.
Right.
Yeah. So you know, it's just I trust them with my life.
Very strong. Yeah, very strong bond that comes from this, right?
Absolutely, 100%.
Would you say similar to that?
Yeah, it's the same thing. I mean, it's one thing for me. It's kind of taught me to, you know, let my ego go. And I mean, starting out as a cop 19 years ago, I can say it. I was that jerk cop. I was. I can admit it. And I had to fight with people every time I had to arrest them, and I had to kind of check myself and realize, why is that? I realized it was because I was the problem.
Is it everybody else or is it me?
Yeah,
probably everybody else.
Right. And I started when I was 21, so I was still,
Oh, you're on the power trip. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And, but I realized it. But after I started training jiu-jitsu more and more, it humbled me. The ego went down, and now I'm just kind of there. I'm like, if it's going to go that way, it's going to go that way, but I'd rather talk to you, and we'll just figure it out that way. Right. Whereas compared to before, it was just like, all right, if that's what you want to do, let's do this
let's
right
do
now.
it. That's why I signed up for this.
Just in general, I think it's made me a lot calmer person. And it's important to have an outlet.
Yeah.
There's no better, stress relief than getting out there, sweating it out. And,
absolutely.
The camaraderie you build and everything is just huge.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Probably the same. I started out about a year. I was 50 pounds heavier, so I've dropped that. Switched the diet up, primarily.
No vegan?
Yeah, you can ask these guys. Which tries, my wife and I, and
not all his decisions are good.
Yeah, we noticed a huge difference.
Can't support that one, right?
So the cardio game's gone up. I just feel great. I exercise as much as possible now. I wasn't sleeping. I was an angrier person, and all that's gone away. And it's a lot of it's jujitsu. A lot of it's the company you keep. Definitely in our gym, it's just like that's family, And so I get to go to work, do what I do, and I get those 2 hours of hanging out and training, and my mind's great now. And like these guys like to give me a hard time about, not doing so much meat, but it is what it is.
Hey, dude, I noticed though, I'm grumpy.
Not like bacon though.
Right.
Or a nice medium rare steak.
And maybe that's why you're irritable. You're not eating any meat, right?
Right? I mean, the drive up here, we were driving up here, and they're like, Eric, I'm distracted. I'm like, why? Like, look at all that grass. You must be getting hungry. I'm like, you guys are looking
at the cows, man. Like, look at those cows over there.
Yeah. You get the grass, I'll get the cow.
Yeah,
you got it.
right.
That's cool. More for me, right?
Exactly.
What about you?
Me personally, it's to be honest with you, it has opened the door of wanting to help. That's the biggest thing I've seen. That the biggest major difference, if you will. Like I think one of the biggest reasons why is because I have this, and I think a lot of people should have it as well, is the pay it forward mentality. Where I'm at right now, I didn't get here by myself. And a lot of people, whether they like to admit it or not, they tend to put a lot on themselves, saying, "Oh, I did this by myself,
self-made,
yeah." And it's like, man, at a certain point, somebody gave you a shot.
Yes.
Somebody.
Or a lot of shots,
right?
Yeah.
So, well, I always like to keep it simple.
Yeah.
At a certain point, somebody gave you a shot.
Yeah.
At a certain point, somebody took me on the side and said, "Hey, let's work on getting your armbar better, or let's work on getting this better for you."
Yeah.
My man Corrado over here. There was one time where he was on an injury leave, and every day I would show up 1 hour early and train by myself, just on the punching bag, and I would use it as an opponent. I would use the balance ball as legs to move him out the way, to round pass, if you will.
Yeah.
And he saw me one time. He was like, "Hey," I was like, "Are you training by yourself?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Let me get my gi." I'm like, "You're hurt." He's like, "Well, we could work around it."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Man," and I'm like, "Thank you." And like for somebody to higher ranking than me to like say, "I got you," like, thank you. So that has happened throughout my journey, if you will. So I've always had that mentality. I have to pay it forward.
Yep.
Somebody has to, and then after I pay it forward, somebody else has to pay it forward. And that's, like I said, that's one of the things that created this page because of Professor Tom DeBlas. He's done so much for the progress of everybody's journey. He did so much for me. It's kind of like if I were to ask him, he'd probably say you don't know me anything. But in my head, it's like I owe it to him. I owe it to him to help others the way he helped me.
Yeah.
So that's what I found myself. I mean, obviously, my ego has been checked plenty of times. So when it comes to arguing, I don't look to argue to people. I just okay, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. You get that weekly, you get that daily ego check if you're going to jiu-jitsu every day.
For sure. Absolutely. And, it's helped me become a different person when it comes to mindset and how I approach things. Man, I'm not, when it comes to different things outside of jiu-jitsu, is like worst thing that could happen is I could fail.
Yeah.
That's the worst thing.
Yeah, at least I'm not going to get choked out
Exactly,
or
you
my
know what I
arm
mean?
or
Like,
leg broken.
You know, like, oh man, should we go over here? It's like, let's go, see what happens.
Yeah,
You know?
whatever.
If it's not dangerous, whatever. You know.
Yep.
But and that's one of the things that jiu-jitsu has helped me with. Like, you got to take a shot, whether it's on the mats. If you're working, just guard, open your legs, see what happens.
Yeah.
Work around it. You know what I mean? And a lot of people don't
I
like,
love doing that, playing that. Yep.
a lot of people don't like doing that because that's out of their comfort zone.
Well, and the thing you do too is if you're going to open your guard, do it on your terms too, right?
Yeah.
Don't let them break it open.
Yeah.
But if you're uncomfortable, all right, I'm going to let you, I'm going to let you out, but you don't know that. You think I'm attacking you,
Correct.
right? And
Yeah.
for sure.
And a lot of people put emphasis on, I don't want to fail. I don't want to get choked out. Well, all you got to do is tap.
Yeah. You don't have to get choked out. You can just get sort of choked.
Started all over.
You're not going to win a medal after the first round of training. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Also, trial and error too. You just got to be out there trying and doing what you got to do.
Yeah.
What it comes down to, 100% of the time.
Yep.
If you don't ever put yourself in a bad situation, how are you going to learn from it?
And that's one of the things that when we started Proud BJJ White Belt and we started. I started seeking out sponsors, man. Like I'm like, oh, here we go. Let's see what happens.
What can you do? Yeah. I mean, when I reached out to you guys to come out here, I didn't know you were even local. I'm just like, hey, I like what you guys are doing because I do like what you're doing with the page and keeping everybody motivated and on point. And you're like, yeah, I'll come up. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Like I wasn't expecting you to say that. I was expecting you to be like, I'll email you, and then you give you the runaround and never get back to me.
There was a lot of trial and error when I first started this page, man. Like. I like going all the way back to when we first started. And I think we had like maybe 8 to 12 likes on our first thing. Yep. And like I remember I even made like a post of our first 100 followers, man, because I was so excited, man. I'm like, all right, we're working here, we're moving.
Yeah, we're picking up steam. We got 100.
Yeah, we got 100 now. And then I'm like, I might as well start now. I started looking for sponsors and. I reached out to different companies, and a lot of them didn't get back to me. It's like, well, I guess not. And then,
only took a minute to send that message, though. So
exactly,
right?
and then it was people would look at it like, oh man, they don't have faith in me. Well, they probably don't because you're a brand new page.
Yeah, you don't have the backing yet, right, or the following.
And that's one of the reasons why the sponsors that we have been exclusive because they gave us a shot when a lot of people didn't.
Yep.
I mean, even if you said no. At least you responded, but there was a lot of people who didn't even respond.
No, there's a lot.
They're just like that. 100 followers? Is like 100 followers? All right, yeah, I'm not even responding to you.
Yeah, I don't want to be attached to that, right?
So it's like, all right.
And you don't know because now look at you, like 16, 17,000, something like that. Crazy. It's like, you could have had this much exposure, but you were too good for me at the time. So. And it's not being bitter, I guess. That sounds bad.
It really isn't. It really isn't bitter.
Like you're holding the grudge, but not really.
It really isn't bitter. I have the whole situation of you gave us our first shot. I'm not gonna forget that. No.
Yep.
I gotta give you everything I got.
Yep.
And
that's more of the pay it forward kind of too, right?
For sure. And one of the things that we've gotten before, and I love it. I mean, it sounds weird, but I love it. Like people have contacted us, like, hey, do you work for them? And it's like, I smile. And I say no. The reason I smile is because that's how hard we're pushing their product. Because it's almost like it's ours.
Yeah.
But it's not. But it's like this is what I guaranteed you that if you gave us a shot, I was gonna push your product. Because don't get me wrong, the product that we push, we don't just push it. Like we own it.
You wear it.
We wear it.
You rock that.
You know what I mean? I have bought gis myself from Elite. I have bought gym bags and all kinds of stuff. Black Belt Concept. Their bracelets. I've bought their bracelets.
Yeah. That's how I am with any sponsor. Yeah. If I'm gonna work with you, I buy your product first.
Correct.
Before I'm gonna tell everybody else to buy it, right?
Correct. You have to believe it, or else what exactly are you pushing out there?
Yeah.
Like, oh well, have you tried this? No, but they're our sponsors, so I got to push it out there. It's like, no.
I think it's good.
Yeah.
Let me know. Seems legit.
Yeah, for sure. And that's when we first started going. Everybody started, I don't want to say everybody because it wasn't everybody, but a lot of people kept on like pushing, like, hey man, are you guys going to start doing Proud BJJ White Belt gear? And it's like, no, because that's not our purpose on this page. It's not to make money. No. And I could tell you this right now, till this day, we have not accepted one penny from any of our sponsors, and we won't. All we do is ask our sponsors to sponsor giveaways.
Yep.
That's it. Because there's people out there who need a new gym bag, a new gi, or they want a new bracelet.
Jiu-jitsu's not free, man.
It
can be kind of expensive depending on where you train, So
they just kept on asking. And that's that's where my journey, if you will, took a turn, and it's like, all right, people want gear. Do I want to take a leap forward? And that's where I created Top Mount. So I was like, you know what? Let me create Top Mount. I'll give the page over to my son, if you will, Al Jr. A lot of people talk to Al Jr., by the way. And then these guys are helping with that as well. And it's kind of like, I don't want there to be a conflict of interest. So I'm gonna step away. I'm gonna focus on Top Mount, and I'm gonna sponsor this page with financially whatever way I can, because at the end of the day, I want this page to flourish. Mm-hmm. And I can tell you this right now, it's been expensive, but my thing has never been about making money, so I'm not disappointed about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Worth it.
You know what I mean? Like to see the people that comment and say, man, I needed this, or I needed to see this today, or I'll give you an example. I had a young man contact us from Puerto Rico after they had that devastating hurricane.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, hey man, we just got Wi-Fi. I wanted you to contact you guys to let you know that you guys have been very helpful in keeping me motivated since our gyms have been closed down right now. Mm-hmm. I keep looking back at your page, and you guys keep me motivated. So I just wanted to say thank you. And I was like, dang. Man, this guy's using his Wi-Fi to contact us. I'm like, oh my goodness. I'm like,
the first thing you do is back on.
You know what I mean?
That's
man,
awesome.
Like you can't, you just, no money's worth it.
That makes
sense. You know what I mean? Like, so.
That's how I am with this. I haven't made any money, and obviously I'm in the hole quite a bit, as you can see. And excuse me, it's nice. People reach out to me and say, like that episode you had with so and so.
Yes,
I learned a lot about diet or this exercise or whatever. That's awesome. Cool. You get a random text or whatever from a friend, like, oh my goodness, I didn't know you're having so and so out there. I listened to it. It was so awesome. Like, thanks.
Because all it takes is one episode to change one person's life, and that's worth it.
Yep.
Sure. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, right now what we're talking about, someone will listen to this and
they're gonna be like, man, I needed to hear that.
Yeah. I need to get back in the gym, or I need to start the gym, or I might.
I don't need to lose that weight before I start.
No, you're gonna lose it when you get there. I promise. As you can tell, you guys have probably all done it. I know I've gone up and down, and it always goes down. The more I train, the weight goes back down. For sure.
Personally, to me, I mean, I hate to separate people, but the people who quit or get injured and still make it back, like my man over here, those are my heroes.
Yep.
Like, because these guys will tell you, if I get injured, I'm back the next day.
Yeah.
Because I am.
You shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Even though I shouldn't.
You really shouldn't be.
I've broken my toe and I came back the next day. I messed up my ankle and I came back the next day. And the reason I do it is because I'm terrified. I'm terrified of getting complacent.
You don't want to lose the love for it either, right?
I don't. Yeah. And the people who are out for months and they say, all right, I'm going to get back into it, man, those girls and guys are my heroes, man, mm-hmm. because if you can do it and continue to do it, man, it's that couch and that bed gets so comfortable, man.
Oh, yeah. I'm telling you, man, that
goodness.
Extra couple hours every day to watch
when that
TV.
love is there, though. My longest stint away from an injury was 2 years. Oh, I tore my rotator cuff, and while I was doing rehab for it, I tore it again. So I had to have 2 surgeries. And it kind of helped, though. My sons were both going there because I was always coming to the gym.
You're getting your fix.
I was getting my fix watching, but it was killing me that I couldn't be out there.
Yeah.
So as soon as I was cleared by the doctor, I'm like, boom, I'm there.
Yeah. That's like what the designated driver does. When he hangs out with his friends are all having fun, and you're just sitting there like, okay, guys, I want to have fun one day.
There's times I look at these guys, I'm like, as a nurse, you shouldn't be here. As your training partner, I'm glad you're here.
He actually does that to us a lot.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
Oh, shoot. Does he tell you not to eat meat too, or no?
He tries.
Don't listen.
He tries.
To
yeah.
He tries.
Shoot. So what do you guys have as far as like goals for the page, like this year and beyond? I mean, just what are you really trying to do with it or trying to accomplish?
I mean, right now we have one sponsored athlete. He's a friend of mine. He's a friend of ours, if you will. Shane Carr. That guy's been like a big supporter of us, like from day one. Like
he's vegan as well.
He's also vegan.
Just gonna throw that out there.
Yeah. Right.
Right now, he's the only one we sponsor. Well, the page sponsors. I sponsor him through Top Mount. The goal would be to continue to sponsor athletes, but it's obviously it's not easy. It's expensive.
Yes.
But it's also about finding the right person, I guess, if you will, because a lot
Your
of
name's attached to it.
Unfortunately, a lot of people just want the title, and it's very difficult to see who's going to actually continue. Because a lot of people think that once you become a sponsor, all right, that's it, I'm good.
All right, I made it.
Yeah,
right?
that's it.
A lot of
all
them
right.
want the free stuff.
Yeah. Well, a lot of want free stuff, but
Yeah, send me that package, and
a lot of people forget that, like, once you become a sponsor, it's time to work now.
yeah,
like,
now is when the job starts.
Just like us when we got sponsored by by Elite Sports and Black Belt Concept. Like, it was like, all right, you're not gonna regret this, man. We got you. And it's like when we first got sponsored by them, we weren't pushing it to push it. We were pushing it because we believed in it, and that's how we want. We would like for it to be treated, if you will. Yeah. Like, because we've gotten a lot of requests, like people just like, hey, do you want to sponsor me? Let me know. And it's like,
there wasn't much thought put in there.
Tell me why you want.
It's like, where are you from exactly? Who are you? Like,
I don't even
know your first name. I know your Instagram name, but
I mean, do you compete? Because you want your guys competing, obviously,
sure.
right?
Sure.
And pretty regularly, I imagine.
Well, I mean, one of the things that comes with it is the strength of character. Are you, like, our page is probably DJ White Belt. If somebody from a bigger page or a bigger company contacts you, are you gonna just be like, hey, I gotta go?
Yeah, I gotta go. They're off me $20 more or something.
Right. Like, all right, see you.
Yeah.
But it's that would be our long term goal. Just
some athletes
continue to actively push people forward. Because sometimes people need somebody to help them, whether it's like if you get a sponsor, you have somebody who believes in you, or else they wouldn't be sponsoring you. You know what I mean? So you can't allow that to blind you. Rather, you have to have that help you move forward. And like, all right, these guys, I got these guys' names on my back. I gotta grind. You know? And it's not required, obviously. It's not like, hey, well, if you don't win gold in Pan Ams, we're gonna drop you.
We're done.
No, it's like just give it what you got, man. That's
give it 100%, please. I mean, right?
That's it.
Be there.
And be there.
Be there.
Yep. Show up.
I mean, that's what our goal is. Just keep moving forward, keep pushing forward. On my side of Top Mount, I work with a lot of organizations behind the scenes, and we're not about the whole, hey, look what I did. I just gave all this merchandise to this foundation or whatever.
Please, somebody pat me on the back
check
right
this
now.
out.
Right?
No. Like, every time we do it is because we do it because we want to help.
Yeah.
Because somebody helped us. Yeah. So there's been plenty of times where we give out stuff to organizations or we help organizations, and they're like, oh man, we'll give you a shout out. It's like, nope, we don't need it. If you want to do it, great. Yeah. We don't need it though. Yep. This is not why we're doing it. We're not doing it for shout outs. And they kind of like, oh, okay, all right, well, even easier, right? Yeah. So, but that's what we want to do, man. We want to continue to what Professor Tom DeBlas opened up. We want to continue to flood it. Yeah. Like he has, like I've met Professor DeBlas and I've explained to him how much of an influence he has been to our page, but I don't think he got it because he, it was during a seminar and
everyone's telling him the same thing. Yeah. You're the biggest influence in my life, and everybody's saying that. And he's probably just like, everybody's and they're just being nice or something.
But through this page, it's kind of like this is like he can see it now, like, and the longer we go, he'll be able to see it even more. Not just him, but also the other professors that have done it. That have given us a hand when it comes to advice and reaching out to us, like James O'Connor, Professor James O'Connor. He was another guy who, like, I reached out to him very early in our page, and he had no problem talking to us, none. Like, he just, oh yeah, this, try this, or so on and so forth, and he just accepted our page as a normal person, as a normal page. Like, he didn't say, well, you don't have enough followers, so I'm not even going to respond to you. Nothing like that. It was just, and you can't buy that kind of respect. You just can't. You know what I mean? So
see, some people know the message you're trying to spread, and they respect that. Other people just see a number next to your name, right? Like, correct. Oh, okay, well, yeah, we'll talk to him. Whatever,
That's why we did the whole exclusivity when it comes to sponsors, because, like, man, you give us a shot, we're gonna show you what we could do. Yep. And all of them have not regretted sponsoring us.
No, I
So,
bet.
mean,
No.
so, yeah.
I see the giveaways and stuff too.
Yeah.
I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
How do you guys feel about social media's impact on jiu-jitsu and fitness in general? I mean, overall, fairly positive. I mean,
I think it's fairly positive. I mean, it spreads a wide variety of the different type of fitness out there. If it's CrossFit or Jiu-Jitsu, and I love how Flow Grappling at the Pans. I mean, they were, they had all the clips from the Pans going on. I loved following them and seeing everything that was happening because a lot of the stuff you can't watch unless you go to Flow's website or their Facebook page, and it's interesting seeing the different levels out there competing.
Yeah.
Social media, I mean, on the flip side, you have the devil's side of social media,
Yes.
because anytime you have somebody that's making it to the top, you're going to have haters that are going to be right there following, even though deep down inside they're probably fans of the page, but they just keep spitting out that
they're still following the page.
exactly,
but
they're just,
much.
they can't accept the fact that, somebody's being successful or like, what we're trying to do here and push people forward or pay it forward, they don't see it that way.
Yeah. I mean, and then what about like the instructionals like you see on YouTube? You guys ever try into that in training?
I not as a trainer, but if there's something I'm missing, I'll pull up a website.
Yeah.
I'll pull something up just to see it.
Yep.
Just say, hey, maybe I'm missing some small finer detail, and I'm not at class right now, so I can't ask my professors.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like I'll take a look at it. Maybe this guy will show me one small detail that I missed.
I'm
Sometimes-
guilty, man.
Sure.
Sometimes
Oh,
it's
absolutely,
happened.
yeah.
I'll get in that rabbit hole sometimes. You're like,
Oh,
wow,
absolutely, yeah.
Right.
you sit there and you look down, you notice an hour went by, and you've been watching all these other videos. Like, I probably should have just been training, but you know what? Sometimes you get like a look at something that you would have never seen.
Right.
It's like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning when you're working, you bust out your iPad, and
Right.
you watch Jiu-Jitsu or stepping
Yeah.
testing.
Yes.
Because I mean those are 2 of my favorites to watch, and Kurt Osiander is another one of my favorites.
Yeah.
He's a wild man.
He's a wild man. Yeah.
Yeah, he's awesome.
What about the Mendez brothers? I get stuck watching them,
Oh,
wishing I
man.
could move like that.
Oh,
Right?
my goodness.
absolutely.
That's a fantasy right there.
Yeah. Especially for like a
Yeah.
bigger guy, I'm like, I don't know if I'll ever be able to move. But man, look at those guys. They look like they're just
Man.
dancing on top.
Yeah, absolutely.
right?
Yes, it's my goal to be a fat guy. That's my goal.
So inverted panda, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, there
that,
you
right?
go. There you go.
Big
That's one
old,
of the things with the
big
social
old-
media, the exposure that's brought to it.
yeah.
Yeah.
To the
Think about-
sport even, right?
Yeah, exactly. Think about where it was before, like social media.
Yeah.
If you'd say jujitsu, they'd be like, "What?
Karate? Yeah, what is that?
Yeah, doing the hi-ya sign and everything else like that. Now you're like, everyone's like, okay, well, I maybe don't understand it, but I know what it is.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
And
Your family doesn't know what jujitsu is. They're
Right.
doing, like you said, the chops and stuff.
Yeah, for
Right.
This
sure.
isn't
Yeah.
jujitsu. We're not punching or chopping at all, actually.
right. So I mean, it's just been huge for it. I mean, I think
Yeah.
it's, it's part of the explosion of it.
For sure. Yeah.
I think it's blown it up big time. And what do you think about its impact in MMA too? I mean, it seems like
Oh,
yeah.
man.
to be
yeah.
successful, you have to have a black belt in jiu-jitsu just to survive, right?
Just about.
I mean, and then there are a few that rely heavily on the jiu-jitsu.
Unfortunately, yeah.
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 Well, like Mackenzie Dern's debut,
Yeah.
which, once she got it to the ground,
Yeah.
she was on her back right away,
yeah,
but just getting there, maybe
She let those hands fly though, man.
Mhm. She
That's
did,
pretty.
yeah.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, were they a little reckless?
Yeah.
Who am I to judge? But,
Right.
But
I mean,
You're not out there, so it's kind of like,
She could probably still beat me up.
Oh,
Right?
definitely. Yeah. No, she could definitely beat me up. What I liked about it was she gave it a shot.
Yep.
Like, she's like might be reckless, but if
Yeah.
I fail, I'm gonna fail throwing hands.
She's 1-0 in the UFC right
You know
now.
what I mean? So,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
you got to admire that, man.
Yeah.
Like, she could have definitely played it safe and maybe at a certain point maybe even pull guard and then just go. But
Yeah.
she's like, no, I'm gonna throw these hands. And
I
see
think
what
if she
happens.
got if
what
she
I
got a
mean?
little bit more wrestling, just
Yeah.
takedowns,
Oh, definitely.
she'd be unstoppable.
Yeah.
Like that's her only that I noticed from it was hey, she just had a hard time getting her down.
Sure.
Once she gets that figured out, she'll be destroying everyone pretty much. Then what about Brian Ortega? You guys watch
Oh
him?
man, that guy.
His jiu-jitsu is really
Yeah,
really good too,
amazing,
man. Oh my god! And,
Amazing.
I mean, he didn't win his last match because of jiu-jitsu, but
Correct.
I mean, he looks like he's got that death grip, right? As soon as he gets a
Yeah.
hold of someone's neck, it's
It's
oh,
amazing, dude.
You got to figure the confidence. You're like, all right, if I go to the ground, cool.
yeah,
So
yeah.
whatever.
He's
I'll
at the
go
point
for
like,
it.
yeah, please take me down. I don't care.
I don't care.
Correct, exactly.
I
Yeah,
don't care where we end up. We're
Yeah.
good to go.
yeah. He's like, whatever. Yeah,
I think
cool.
that's the level we all want to be at, right?
Oh man. But then again, that goes to he trains. That's his
Correct.
life, you know.
He's not afraid to fail.
Yeah, he's not.
He's not afraid to look like excuse my language, but he's not afraid to look like an idiot.
No,
You know?
no. And I mean, he's come from a pretty, I think, tough upbringing from what I hear too.
Yeah.
So he ain't afraid to try anything. He's
No.
like, let's do it, whatever.
At a certain point, we're all gonna look like fools, maybe trying something.
Yep.
It just some people just don't let that stop them.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Do you guys have any advice for anyone that's just starting their journey, jiu-jitsu wise or health wise?
Don't quit. It's a big one.
Don't quit.
Haven't been guilty of it myself.
Yeah.
You know, I can say that's the biggest thing. You know,
I heard and my professor at one point told me the same thing. I was like, I went up to my professor James and I asked him, I'm like, what advice do you have when somebody has a bad day at work? Like, because I constantly have bad days at work. And
Me too.
And I have a bad attitude coming in here. I'm like, what do you? He's like, just keep coming in. I'm like, really? Even with a bad attitude? He's like, yes. Keep showing up. And then I was like, all right, I guess. And then one day I heard Tom DeBlage just pretty much outright say, just keep showing up. Keep showing up. I can't say it any differently than that. I'm like, all right. So I just kept on saying, all right, keep showing up. And I mean, at a certain point, those bad days, you're gonna be like, man, I got through that. Like, that's pretty cool. Like, I remember I had this going on, and then man, that's cool. I can get through that, you know.
Yeah, once you make it through that, you can make it through any of the okay days, you know.
Just because, like what Eric said earlier, it's you know, no matter how rough of a day you're having, it's an escape.
Absolutely.
You know, while you're on those mats, nothing else really matters.
Right. Do you guys have a favorite grappler of all time, as far as watching compete?
Me personally, Kyle Taro, man, that guy is probably because I'm about his same size, and
Sure.
A guy
So you can
my
relate
size
to it, right?
can do that. Is like, man, that's awesome. you
Yeah.
know?
Yep.
So yeah, when it comes to the way he teaches, he's just flawless, man. Like,
Yeah. Very, very detail oriented.
muscle memory like no other, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I remember he was doing one side. He was showing us in a seminar how to do this bow and arrow. He did it on one side. He's like, all right, now we're going to do it on the left side. I'm like, okay. And
the
just-
weak side?
Yeah,
I don't
and
know.
he did it exactly the same way, man. Like, didn't hesitate, nothing, just like a perfect flow, man.
That's what's
Oh,
missing a lot too is
Oh, my goodness.
training your weak
Yeah.
side too, or your
Yeah.
dumb side, I call it.
Difficult.
But
Yeah,
that's
we're all guilty of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I'm just gonna keep passing to the left because that's where everybody passes, right?
Right.
Yeah. What about you guys? Do you have a favorite or?
I think Tim Kennedy. I enjoy watching him and being a veteran and what he does for law enforcement.
Yes.
You know, he does a lot of training for law enforcement. You know, it's as far as shooting and ground skills. I just love what he does with that.
Yeah.
Me personally, I don't really have a favorite because I think everybody just brings their own thing to the game.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like finding that thing and kind of what do you like about every guy? Everybody's different.
Yeah.
So there's somebody brings something different at every aspect of the game.
Yep.
Like at our school, we have 2 coaches that are 4-3 black belts,
Correct.
and each one of them is better at something than the other.
Yeah.
But they're together. Like James Hill, the way he can feel like he's 500 pounds,
Oh,
I've
my
never
goodness.
felt it.
My
Oh,
gosh.
and
I've-
side control or
Just
right or
anywhere.
anywhere.
I've never
Yeah.
felt anybody who's been able to do that the way he does.
Yeah.
And then his technique is so like flawless and meticulous.
Yeah.
And then we have our other coach Ron, or professor. He's just the amount of knowledge he has, his fluidity with all his movements. It's amazing.
Setting
Yeah.
up those
So-
traps.
Yep.
Right. And then so then you watch guys like Tom DeBlas, and same thing. He brings something different to the game that maybe they don't even bring.
Yep.
It's just his the mentality, the way he focuses and pushes people. It's just
Yeah.
everybody brings something different. So I can't really say I have a favorite.
Yeah. I got a couple in no-gi. I do like Gordon Ryan just because he's
Yeah. Oh, my
savage
goodness.
right now.
Yeah. Man, that
But
guy.
and then is it Craig Jones, right?
Craig Jones, yes.
Yes.
Craig Jones, yeah.
Did you watch him at EBI 14? I
I
think
didn't
it
get
was.
a chance to watch it.
I-
no.
Okay, so he made it.
Yeah.
He won 3 matches, made it to the final
Correct, yeah.
with less than a minute of mat time combined.
Right.
Yes. 3 matches.
That I
Heel hook,
read.
heel
Yeah,
hook, heel
yeah,
hook.
that was pretty cool.
And then he's the closest one to almost beating Gordon Ryan.
Mhm.
I
Right.
think he went like 2-3 overtimes and had him in a nasty armbar, but Gordon survived.
I can't remember that one. But
Yeah,
okay.
it was, dude, crazy,
Yeah.
crazy. Those 2 are fun to watch, Nogi, and then
Yeah.
Guy. I don't know. Galvo's good. Andre
Galvo,
Galvo
yeah.
or Galvao. I have a hard time with the pronunciation, But he's fun to watch, and then Bushesha, all those guys are
yeah.
good too.
Oh, Hodger Gracie. Oh, my
Oh yeah,
goodness.
Hodge, yeah,
Oh, my
legend.
goodness.
Yeah,
Oh, man.
yeah, dude. So I mean, all those. Like you said, you start watching and be like, well, I don't know, maybe I like him more.
Yeah,
Maybe I like
right.
that one more.
I mean, like it's like what man says. I mean, you could have certain judoteros, if you will.
Yeah.
So athletes bring different things to the table. I mean, you have Hodger Gracie, man. He can tell you what he's gonna do to you, and there's no way you can stop.
You're
it.
not gonna stop. he's gonna do that
You know what
cross
I mean?
choke, right?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like that's man. I would love to be that one day. Like
Oh,
you know
man.
exactly what's coming, and you're still not gonna stop.
Yeah,
But at
that's
the same time, I would love to have the fluidity of the Mendes brothers, and
Yes.
then have the technique of Coyote. You know, just
oh,
but
it's like those dudes know exactly where you're gonna be, where they're gonna put
Yep.
their foot right now to spin around on
Oh,
you.
yeah.
They just have that confidence, you know. Like for me, if I try to do that, I'd fall on my face.
Right.
that makes two of us.
And I think that's one of the things that separates the belt levels. It's just
Yeah.
how far in advance you're thinking.
Yeah.
You know, white belt, you're just in the moment. You know, blue
Yeah.
belt, you're starting maybe one step ahead. Purple, maybe you're two steps ahead.
Yeah.
You know, and then as you go up, the further along the line you're thinking.
Yeah, you're thinking before before you even shake hands, you already know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Oh,
Black
yeah.
belt.
I'm going to go
Yeah.
from this to this to this to this, and I'm going to have them.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
because you know how they're gonna react because
Right.
you've been in that situation so many thousands of times.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know. So did you guys have any while we're on here, any shout outs you wanted to give? Anyone specific?
Just our sponsors. Well, our sponsors actually, our sponsors, some athletes and pages that have helped us out in our journey, if you will.
Yeah.
Again, Professor James O'Connor, big influence. Tom DeBlas. A few pages actually. Bro Jitsu, Showcase BJJ, Strangle Squad, BJJ Mojo. Big pages. BJJ Empire, Jiu Jitsu Motivation, Grappler's Planet. These guys have like, I kind of I take pride in knowing that we have earned the respect because these pages are big pages that were big pages before we started, and then at a certain point they were like, hey man, we see you, we see what you're doing, keep it up, you're doing great. And some of these pages are ran by black belts, man, and for black belts to like tell us, hey, what you guys are doing, that's good. Keep it up. You guys are doing great. It's like, man, you know.
Yeah, that's a good feeling.
You know what I mean? Like
doing something right.
Thank
right?
you so much, man. Like, but yeah, like shout outs as far as athletes, man. Just some people that either are either inspirational to us or, I mean, just we've kept an eye out on, if you will, or they've helped us, if you will. Mm-hmm. A couple of guys here. I mean, we admire. Gorilla Nagi. He shared a story about his PTSD and his trials and such. Like he opened up big time. Like it was very, very inspirational to see that he let his shield down to let people into his world, and he wasn't afraid to show it. And for us, it was like, man, it was motivational because there might be somebody out there who thinks they're alone, and then they saw this guy and they're like, man, this guy's a purple belt, or he's a big athlete, or you know, he has a big following, or whatever the case is. He's going through this. You know, he's also a veteran. Man, this just gave me hope that it's okay to be a little broken, if you will, or tired, if you will. You know, and when we shared his story, I mean, it got a lot of people opening their eyes to like, man, okay, so he is human.
Yeah.
You know? Because a lot of times we follow people and we think, oh man, this guy's awesome, this girl's awesome, so on and so forth. Next thing you know, it's kind of like when they do something like this, it's like, okay, so they are human.
Yeah.
You know? And there's nothing wrong with that. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like another one of our ambassadors, Cheryl Bennett, CBBJJ. She was another one who opened up to her mental disorder, if you will, and it opened up so many people's eyes. So many people got tagged in the comments like, hey man, check this out.
Yeah.
And again, she wasn't afraid to, you know, lower down her shield and say, hey, this is me. This is who I am. And it takes a lot of courage and guts to do that, man. I mean, hats off to them, man. Like,
yeah.
You know, they're inspirational to us. People say, oh man, you guys inspire. Man, you have no idea how much you guys inspire us. Just the people who follow us, the people who tell us their story. Like, we can't stop now. You know what I mean? Like, the way we inspire people, you guys are inspiring us to show up every day as well.
Yep. It's becoming a snowball effect too, right?
Time,
just picking up more and more steam, right?
Big time. And man, yeah, like another guy, one guy that I got to give him a big shout out, man, because he's one of those guys that has showed us support without saying anything. Like anytime that we do anything, he's there commenting or saying thank you or whatnot. His name is Lu Tran. He's a blue belt, and like man, he's always showing us love, always, And I think that's awesome, man. And a couple of black belts on the advice side as well, like Super Dave BJJ, Darth Barnabas. I hope I didn't mess that up. The two of them are black belts. We've reached out to them for advice. They have given us advice. Another coach, Matt Sierra, 303. That's another guy that I love their slogan. I think it's white belts needed.
Yeah.
Or white belts wanted, something like that. It's like, man, that's awesome, and it's true. We all need them, man. And another guy I think he's from New Zealand. I could be wrong. I hope I'm not wrong. Christian Tavito. I hope I didn't mess that up either. That's another young man that recently got his blue belt, and his journey we followed for a while, and his journey showed how the same way with these guys. He got hurt at one point, and he has shared his downs, not just his ups. He has shared his downs with our page, and it's like, man, that's awesome.
To open up about that.
Because when people look at our page, they see promotions, they see victories. You know what I mean?
All smiles. Yeah.
And some people might look at it and be like, man, am I ever gonna get there? But to see people like, so this guy failed as well, so it's okay to fail. So they don't know how much influence that has when you give your real story, like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure I'm missing a few more people, but I mean, no disrespect. I hope I didn't disrespect anybody by forgetting them. I didn't do it on purpose.
It's a big list, right?
I mean? But our sponsors, Elite Sports, man, like always, they've been with us almost since day one. Black Belt Concept, they played a huge role behind the scenes. You should check them out. That's pretty much it as far as shout outs. Like I said, I hope I didn't forget anybody.
That's cool.
But yeah.
Anybody for you guys you want to shout out to, or?
I think I've covered it.
Yeah.
Okay. No, do you guys have any personal goals outside of the page that you're trying to reach for 2018 and beyond?
I don't really. I mean, my goals are just to keep showing up and doing, what I can. I want to progress. Everyone's journey is their own, and I'm just letting it kind of take me where it takes me. So I don't really have any real set out plans. I want to just do the best I can all the time. And actually, the only goal I do have is to just not get injured again.
Yeah.
Other than that,
stay healthy.
Yeah. Other than that, that's about where I'm at. Stay healthy and keep training.
Yeah, it's simple, but not always easy, right?
Yeah. I know I'm going to continue my fitness journey. I know I want to drop some more weight. A couple competitions this year. I'd like to do my first competition next month.
Nice.
I'm a little nervous on that, but
don't be.
We'll see how it goes. And like we all said, if we lose, I don't care. It's the experience I want to get out there.
Get the jitters out too.
Exactly, get the jitters out, and 2018 we're gonna own it. And like I said, just continue on with our journey. We got each other.
For sure. Yeah, probably the same. Just continue to work on fitness, get in shape. I know. Try a burger.
Well, that's our goal.
Yeah, they got their goals.
Experiment a little.
End goal. I don't know if it'll be this year or next. Definitely try to mix in some stand up. Comes when it comes, but make sure these guys progress and help them grow. That's my biggest goal, is to see my teammates, get where they need to get.
Yeah.
Same thing here, man. Just keep doing as much as I can for whoever I can.
Yep. Keep showing up yourself.
Keep pushing people forward. Well, if I continue to push people, they'll continue to push me.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's just a pay it forward thing. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yeah.
So that's going to be the goal this year, next year, after that.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is, you can't tell people to keep showing up if you're not showing up.
Correct. Exactly.
So you got to do it too. It keeps you in check. You have to be kind of in line with everything, right? Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say, you can't run a page like this, and then just stop
from the couch,
you know what I mean?
like that. Yeah.
Hey, with your hand in the Cheeto bag. Right?
10 years from now, hey, what belt are you? I'm still.
I'm a white belt. Right?
Yeah,
You gotta answer like that. Yeah. No. Definitely. Do you guys have any social media info you want to give out to anyone to follow, or you just want to keep them following the @BJJ or @ProudBJJ White Belt? right?
Just at probably JJ White Belt. We also have our name on Facebook. We have a page there. We mainly run it off of Instagram.
Yeah.
Because it can get it a little bit easier to run it from there, I guess, if you will.
It is. It's a little more simple, I think.
Yeah.
Too.
So that's the biggest one.
I can't figure it out.
Well, he could. I had to download the podcast app for him on the way up here.
Well,
so.
Technical savvy is not my thing.
He's not. He's more of the muscle, if you will. Yeah.
The Instagram thing's harder for, I think, for like personal accounts or like you want to comment back and forth with people.
Yeah.
But it for sharing like pictures and stuff like that, Instagram's probably the
pretty
easier
much
too.
Yeah.
I'm having a hard time figuring out Twitter, man.
It's not easy.
I haven't even tried.
I don't have that.
I have like 2 followers and I don't know how to tweet or anything. I'm like, man, I'm not gonna build up doing this, but whatever. Nice. Okay. I mean, you guys, I guess there's one other section on this that I kind of want to go over with now, and then we're going to shoot a video of it. It's called the technique of the week. I don't know if he gave you the heads up on it.
Yep.
But basically, every guest I have out here, I have them give me one of their favorite techniques, and since we're all in jiu-jitsu, I guess we'll cover a jiu-jitsu technique from everybody. It's always different. I had some kickboxers out last week that like to show a combination they like. So I don't know if you guys had a special technique you were thinking about going up there or recording. Anyone? And it could be, we could do 4 different ones. If you guys have a favorite that you like, your go-to or whatever, share it.
Yeah, I mean, we could. I don't know. We could, me and chokes.
Yeah.
So you're thinking a lapel choke, right, of some sort,
always.
Okay.
I mean, my man over here does leg locks. I mean, but yeah, we'll figure one of them.
So probably a knee bar or something with you or leg lock.
Yeah, I
Okay.
didn't exactly bring gear. I'm wearing.
Oh yeah.
Okay. That's cool.
That's right. You have the new wing. So.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
self-inflicted injury there, right? Or
Yeah.
self-inflicted.
I'll be back. I'll be back in the
How
match tomorrow
convenient.
night.
I'll be there.
Yeah, very convenient.
I'm sure there's some jokes we could.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
We did all this did one with our professor, so we worked quite a bit. Skirt chokes, one of my favorites.
For sure.
So we'll get some chokes covered there. Is there anything I missed out on, guys? Anything you wanted to touch on?
If you guys don't mind, one thing I kind of wanted to touch up on is like I forgot to mention earlier when we were talking about advice for like beginners or whatnot.
Yeah. Yep.
And YouTube and so on and so forth, how you could get lost in one.
Yes. Rabbit hole. Yeah.
One of the ways that I noticed my change was, don't get me wrong, I watched YouTube and I watched a couple of techniques and see what I can do and fail and whatnot. But one thing that a lot of people don't do is they don't look for a strong mindset video or audio, like how to because when you go into jiu-jitsu, I think everybody can agree that your mindset changes.
Yes.
It changes into I don't know exactly what, but it also gets a workout.
Yes.
And you develop this mindset of, man, I keep failing. So you have to develop a strong mindset after that.
Yeah.
Maybe if you dab on a couple of technique videos, maybe dab into a strong mindset video just to know that failure is okay.
Yep.
Just to know that failure is okay as long as you continue to fix your mistakes, you'll continue to move forward.
Yeah, I think the mental part's huge, man. Especially if you're ever going to compete too, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, was it the BJJ mental coach I heard was a good one too? I've never.
Yes.
Actually,
he's pretty good. I actually, funny enough, I followed him for I still do followed him when I first started competing because I was like, what do I do?
Yeah.
Am I thinking correctly and all that stuff? And you'll learn that the more you listen to him or the more you listen to other people's advice as far as a mindset, you'll learn like, yeah, that does make sense. Like, like, all right, yeah. Like, where's that gonna have? Tab, all right. And then all of a sudden you start exploring, and then you're like, you'll start failing, and they're like, well, it's okay, I failed. All right, I'm gonna try again. Yeah. Slap bump, let's go.
Yep.
So, but yeah, I mean, that's one of the things that I wanted to touch up on, and also how to get a shout out.
Yeah.
It's been a big thing. Like,
for the page, right? For your guys' page.
We all we ask is people to follow us. Give us a follow. It's very hard to give somebody a shout out if their account is on private.
Yes,
because
right. No one's gonna see.
Right, because what ends up happening is we can't copy their post and share it. we have to like physically take a picture of their post and then write our own post and whatnot. And the reason that it is better if it's public or whatnot is because we use their words. Like,
you repost their whole
and their paragraph is in there. So it's kind of like for us to condense their paragraph, it's kind of like we're not doing it justice. We want their emotions, their words on the shout out.
Yep.
And just one of the easiest ways is just to tag us on your post.
Yep.
Because
you mean hashtag or just at Proud BJJ?
No, like tag us into it. Yeah.
Okay.
Or what's the word I'm looking for? At Proud BJJ White Belt. Because what ends up happening is, you know how your timeline gives you updates?
Yeah.
Well, some of them get lost because you have so many updates, it keeps on going down to the bottom and you lost it. But yeah, and then there's people who send us DMs and we do it that way as well. So, but yeah, we don't charge for shout outs, just so people know, because believe it or not, I have no idea why people have asked us, how much do you charge for a shout out? It's like, who does that?
Yeah.
Like,
You'd be
you know
surprised,
what I mean? And
man.
it's like, well, we don't do it.
Yeah.
Like I said, we don't take money and we will not take money. This page is for everybody.
I've heard of like fitness people doing that. Like, give us $25 and we'll share one of your pictures. Like really? No, I don't even want you to share my picture.
Yeah. And not a lot of people may not have Facebook or Instagram. So you could also, if you want to shout out, send an email to proudbjjwhitebelt@gmail.com.
Correct. Yeah.
And with your story and maybe a picture, and we do a shout out that way as well. Because
Nice.
not a lot of people have social media, So we'd like to do a shout out to some, even if they don't have it,
Yeah, there's plenty. There's one other thing I didn't touch on, and I just want to briefly is the nutrition side of things too, right? Because we've been talking about training all the time, and I know we've got the nurse here too.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, a lot of people to understand what you put in your body is what you're going to get out, right?
Definitely.
I mean, you've noticed your life changed probably when you cleaned up. Even keto, it doesn't matter. There's different diets work for different bodies and different people.
I look at more of the keto as a lifestyle, not really
Yeah.
a diet.
Yeah,
Because,
or-
I mean, the whole change, you have to change it from
Everything.
From everything. You know, you can't just go back and revert because you're just going to be that fat slob that you were. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, I mean,
It's
true.
true.
Though,
Yeah.
You know, because I mean, that's the biggest thing with people in fitness. Just get started.
It's
It
a
took
trend,
me
yeah.
forever just to get started, and it's like that. It took me that one time of gassing out trying to arrest somebody and
That's
you
it.
know, on the borderline of getting my butt whooped to realize that I need to change. And I got a daughter now, and I want to be around for her.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, he doesn't have kids yet, but we
Not
get
that I
there
know of.
and
Yeah, I got two, so
yeah.
I know.
So I
you
mean,
guys-
keto has been huge ever since I dialed in my macros, and it's been a year, and now I have to revert and change some things because the weight's not coming off anymore. So
Yep.
I
Yeah.
have to change it up a little bit and up this, lower that. It's it's
just
all
playing- yep.
your body's just a big science project. So
Yeah.
trying to figure out what you need and where you need it.
Sure is. I've seen some people that do the science on the outside of their body too. You're like, what
Yeah.
are you doing?
yeah. It's like, you should have left that.
Yeah, you should have left that alone.
Yeah.
But okay.
Definitely.
Yeah, I think the big thing too is people to get something that's sustainable for them, right?
Absolutely.
So you can go vegan because you can do that, but you obviously
No.
cannot,
No.
right? I mean, so
I mean, I like bacon too much.
yeah, right. that's keto. That's a fat. I mean,
absolutely.
you
It's a good fat.
you find what's going to work for
Yeah.
you, right? I
Mhm.
mean, and just make sure you're feeding yourself good whole foods. You know,
Yep.
I think the biggest thing is people get into the eating all this processed food or all the
Yes.
boxed
Oh, for
food,
sure.
you know, and then you're feeling like garbage and you're wondering why. Well, dude, you had Pop-Tarts before you went and trained or something.
And another thing, the intermittent fasting. I
Yeah.
started doing it, and my problem is that I work nights and I'm off every other couple days, so I got to change my intermittent fasting time. And
Yeah.
I notice if I have like I slipped up one day when he was working nights, I'd have a apple fritter. And then so my
Highly addicting.
my glucose would spike.
Yeah.
And
Oh, yeah.
then I would crash. And
Yeah.
then I'm like, I can't. I gotta, never again. I can't do that. So never again. I mean, I just cannot feel like that, especially at 3:00 in the morning.
And you got
And-
3 hours or 4 hours left or something.
Yeah,
right? It's
4
like-
hours in,
yeah.
and I'm like crashing out, and ever since I'm on keto, I can stay up the whole night, work fine. I got the mental clarity, and that's exactly what I need. Same thing with him, probably cleaning up his vegan lifestyle and the mental clarity you're getting with that too, right?
For sure. And so my thing, I'll come in from a nurse's standpoint. It seems like a lot. It always seems like a lot when you're starting something new. But I mean, you have one body, and I won't drop the name, but the hospital I work at specializes a lot in bariatric surgeries. So what that means for everybody's gastric bypass, things of that nature. And it's like, man, like you look at it and you're like, you're willing to go under the knife, put your life on the line, because surgery is dangerous. At the end of the day, it is.
Mm-hmm.
And you have all these lifestyle changes, and you know what? If you needed to do it, great. But if you can find something that you enjoy doing, that you love doing, and you can clean it up that way, like why not do it that way?
Instead of having parts of your body taken out.
Exactly, for sure. I mean, it's not hard to eliminate processed food.
No.
I mean, even like the paleo. I mean, there's stuff out there that people can do.
Mediterranean,
yes,
whatever.
anything.
So
and if
options.
any advice that I have to anybody that wants to do it, who's overweight and got a lot of weight to lose, just do it. Take 30 days. Do it. Once you do that first 30 days, you're going to see the impact it's going to have on your health, and then you're going to continue on. Because my wife says, "Oh, you're just a gym rat now," and I'm like, "I'm not a gym rat. I enjoy seeing what's happening, to my body."
If you just really pay attention to your body and how you feel when you're eating certain things, that'll help you right there.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
And even converts to the mat. I mean, just our endurance has gone up.
Yeah.
Compared to when we first started. These guys will tell you how. I mean, we were just like, 50 pounds of chewed up bubble gum laying on the mat.
Yeah.
It's like
Me a year ago, I'd murder now.
Funny. Right.
Yeah.
Tap them 5 times.
exactly.
yeah.
I'm
Right.
done. And now we go. One day our professors made us roll for an hour straight. And we were all going, going hard.
I mean, it was
great.
just like, I felt like a kid at Disney World. But
Just kept going, right?
Yeah, and it's amazing on what it does. I mean, it just making your stamina and seeing how you've improved.
Yeah.
I mean, just if you have any doubts, just do it. That's all I can say.
Yep. Anything you want to touch on, or
Just one last thing, if you don't mind.
Let's do it.
We're gonna be at Wanderlust Grappling. It's an event it's gonna be in Woodstock, Illinois, on March 30th. It's at a Harley Davidson dealer, man. It's gonna be pretty cool.
That is really cool.
It's a grappling tournament where they have an above on stage, if you will.
oh, nice.
They have one match going. They move all the Harleys out of the way, dude. And,
Wow.
yeah, it's pretty freaking
One
amazing.
match at a time.
Is
Yeah.
it submission only too?
Submission
or?
only.
Yeah,
It's
there you
pretty
go.
cool. It's. I mean, if grapplers want to give it a shot, I think there's $1,000 for submission of the night.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, man. So we're gonna be there, and if people want to stop by at the booth, at the vendor booth that we're gonna have. I mean, we're gonna have probably JJ White Belt gear and also top mount and whatnot. But
Nice.
yeah, even if they just want to come and say hi, man.
Yeah, just come meet the guys that are
Yeah.
behind the scenes.
Yeah,
that
dude.
you're seeing, you're
it'd be
following.
awesome, yeah.
That's kind of why I'm glad you guys came out, because
Yeah.
you can see who's posting this stuff and who's
Put a face to
encouraging
it.
everyone. Yeah, now I got a face to it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We appreciate it, man. I mean,
Yeah.
it's never really been about behind the scenes, but a lot of people kind of want to start seeing now.
Yeah.
So it's kind of
Yeah.
like, well, all right, well,
Now's the time.
I
right?
guess
Let's-
now's the time, especially since you invited us. I mean,
Yeah.
we can't say no, right? I
No.
mean,
You can't.
You know, I mean,
Remember that next time.
That's right.
It's one of those like, oh, okay, yeah, we're too good for your podcast or anything. Like, no, man,
No.
you especially since you're in our backyard, man, we gotta stop by.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
All about
Yeah,
spreading
nice and
love,
local.
right?
Yep.
Great drive up here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
There's a lot of grass to look at.
But yeah, you starving over here. All you could think about was eating that
about it,
grass.
right?
Yeah, that's right.
Sweet, man. Well, thanks for coming out, guys.
Sure. Definitely.
thank
Thank
you for
you.
having us, man. Absolutely.
All right. Later.